If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or any cheap PC games, use the referral link in the description. It will take you over to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods, and if you use the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well. Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again and welcome to episode number 14 of the Chelsea career mode here on FIFA 16. Apologies at the beginning if the commentary is a little bit off. My throat is red raw right now and I'm not, I'm pretty under the weather to be completely honest. So hopefully the commentary isn't too badly affected, but fingers crossed we can get some positive results even if I'm not feeling that well. So we start with a game against Sunderland at home. Obviously in real life they've recently lost their manager. Dick Advocaat walked away from the club saying that the squad simply was not good enough and that he wasn't up for a relegation fight. He said, a relegation battle isn't my cup of tea. Well, hopefully this Sunderland squad that we're playing against now won't be good enough to be able to withstand an attack from this Chelsea side. We start off on the front foot. Costa and Pogba linking up very well. Unfortunately, though, our probably top goal scorer this season, actually thinking about it, Paul Pogba, isn't able to get the ball into the back of the net to give us a positive start. But we are still continuing to be on top. Cesc Fabregas involved in the move. Gets it into Nemanja Matic. Going to try and squeeze it through to Diego Costa, who does bring it down under control and get the shot off very well indeed. But Vito Minone is on hand with a strong left-handed save to keep the ball out of the back of the net. But we are continuing to come forward. I will not give up. I want to get myself this goal in this first half if we possibly can. Hazard dances inside this line, sets up Matic, but he kicks it straight at the goalkeeper. So disappointing with the effort. Loads of time and space there, but he put it straight down the throat of Vito Minone. He was proving to be quite the obstacle in between those two sticks. So we move into the second half, trying again to get the ball past him, but another top save. And Paul Pogba is denied again, this time from distance. Was a very well struck shot. Headed towards the top corner as well, definitely not straight at the keeper like Matic's shot from the first half, but sadly still, regardless of where we're aiming the shots, they're not getting past Vito Minone. Jose Gayas pushing forward at left back, does really well to dance inside the defender there. I think he was expecting me to go down the line towards Eden Hazard. Matic into Costas, throws it through nicely to Willian, but again, Vito Minone in the way. Still 0-0 as we head past the hour mark now, with 25 minutes or so to get ourselves a goal if we can. Patrick Van Aanholt, formerly of Chelsea of course, taking his time in getting the ball clear, and Willian puts enough pressure on him to make a mistake. Lovely turn by Costa, and this time we get the ball past him into the back of the net. Chelsea 1, Sunderland 0 at last. Thank you very much, Diego. It's about time. A, he scored a goal, and B, we scored a goal against Sunderland. They're having a rather rare foray forward here. As you can see, Van Aanholt involved again, this time at the right end of the pitch. Really good football here. The ball somehow is going to drop to was it Jan and Villa there having the shot? Not entirely too sure. No, it may have been Jermaine Defoe. At least the zoom was on Jermaine Defoe. They're showing his frustration at not being able to get the ball into the back of the net. That's how I'd felt for the entirety of their game to this point, Jermaine. Obviously, we finally made the breakthrough, but Willian dances inside here. Lovely footwork. I was desperate for Bertrand Traoré to just please get out of the way there. I thought he was going to get right in between me and the ball and just stand there for the majority of the time, and I wasn't going to be able to shoot without him being offside, but we were able to get the ball into the back of the net for a second time. 2-0 the scoreline and 3 points on the way towards our Barclays Premier League title campaign. Thank you very much. Obviously, in yesterday's episode, we were unfortunately knocked out of the Capital One Cup thanks to Arsenal's terrific goalkeeping display from Petr Cech, and we almost had the same there against Sunderland, although we were of course able to find the way through. And to be fair, yesterday we were playing a lot of the kids, especially in the game against Roma in Europe, and they played very well actually, so I'm going to give a couple of them a go here against Leicester at the King Power Stadium for this second game. They're playing a 4-4-2, obviously no Mahrez, you can see there in the starting lineup on the bench, but there is Jamie Vardy in the starting 11, and obviously in real life this season he's having quite the purple patch, having a very good season, as are Leicester as a whole to be fair. Since midway through, well, say 3/4 of the way through last season, they've just been very, very good. And obviously under Claudio Ranieri this year, they've been even better than they were at the end of last year. So we know that Leicester are a threat, but obviously we're in good form now as well. We started with a stronger lineup in the first game of the episode than we did in either of yesterday's two, and we were able to get a convincing victory against Sunderland. Starting Kennedy out on the right hand side in this one though, so obviously we've got a little bit youth in the side, but Kennedy and Ruben Loftus-Cheek started this one, and obviously I've mentioned that they are the two youngsters that I'm really concentrating on right now, but we're trying to give Pedro some first team football because he's not had that much since the opening few games of the season, and he comes good there, putting us 1-0 in front after 11 minutes. That was the breakthrough early on that I really needed to settle my nerves. I didn't want another game that was going to go exactly the same way as the one against Sunderland did. Ruben Loftus-Cheek pushing forward from centre mid, turns his side nicely, gets really lucky though with the shot that rebounds off another former Chelsea player, Robert Huth, but fortunately for us, he rebounds off him and goes into the back of the net. So Ruben Loftus-Cheek gets his first goal of the season, and may even be his first goal in a Chelsea shirt in a full first team game. But unfortunately just before half time, Leicester were able to pull one back to make it 2-1 thanks to that set piece. But just after the second half break, we were going to try and get ourselves that 2-goal advantage back again. We scored quite early on in the first half. Could we score quite early on in the second? Cesc Fabregas involved here. Shot comes in, deflection again, but well saved by Schmeichel, and I've no idea what Richie Delayat was doing there. His clearance just moved the ball about 10 yards. It was nowhere near good enough. It dropped to Oscar and he buried it into the back of the net. That made it 3-1, so we have our 2-goal advantage back again. Thank you very much. And we're looking like we're going to get all 3 points. How good is that ball though by Shinji Okazaki, and then how lucky do they get with the way that it drops straight to Jamie Vardy's feet. Keeper's already committed to a dive. That's 3-2, and we're only at the hour mark. Leicester back in it yet again. They are the kings of coming from behind in real life this season, and it looked like they might be trying to do it again, but we're in stoppage time now. At the end of the second half, Kennedy on the run down the right-hand side. He's got no stamina left. You can see he's in the red. He's really, really tired, but dances inside. That seems to be the phrase of the day, doesn't it? Dancing inside defenders. And Kennedy finishes the game off with a lovely finish, actually. 4-2, the final scoreline. And both the youngsters that are my key prospects, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Kennedy, getting on the score sheet. I'm really pleased with the progress those two are making this year. And I'm very keen to get Thomas Callas and Nathan back next season to see what we can do with those two. We are on the fringe of the transfer window right now, and we'll probably go into that a little bit in more depth in tomorrow's episode as we head into January, and I'll let you know my plans for the window. But we start with Asmir Begovic in goal actually for this third game of the episode. Smolikov, Djiliboji, Stones, and Baba at left back for this one. Rotation defence. They're starting Victor Barbo out on the right hand side. They're playing a 4-4-1-1. Obviously, Igalo has been very good for Watford in real life this season, but he's on the bench, similarly to how Riyad Mahrez was on the bench for Leicester. Probably one of their best players, not involved from the off. And we're on top in the opening 5 minutes or so. We scored early on in the last game. We're trying to do the same here, but Hazard can't find the target. Did really well to turn inside the defender, but just couldn't find the back of the net. But we're trying to get ourselves a chance to go in front again. Watford playing some nice football here, but in the end, they overplay it slightly. We're going to catch them on the counter-attack. Pogba sets through Costa, gets past Prodl, the defender. He's quite slow, the Austrian. Diego Costa's able to race away, and you already know what's coming here. In a situation like that, with Diego Costa has 3 defenders around him and a decent goalkeeper in front, and you've got Paul Pogba free the other side of the box, you just have to pass it across. 1-0 we lead. Thank you very much. We'll take that. We'll try and get ourselves a second goal if we can to give ourselves a 2-0 advantage, but unfortunately, keeper finds himself in no man's land there. Asmir Begovic came for the ball, got nowhere near it, and Watford have themselves an equaliser just a few minutes before half-time, celebrating in front of the camera in the snow here. I've been struggling in the snow in the Wolfsburg Career Mode series, and we've not been doing very well in recent times in that particular series. We're actually heading into the January transfer window in that one as well, so if you missed yesterday's episode where I was asking for some transfer suggestions, then check yesterday's Wolfsburg Career Mode out. There'll obviously be a link to it on the channel page, but we're trying to get ourselves in front here against Watford if we can. 3 wins from 3 would be very pleasing indeed if we can get them, especially, like I say, after I'm playing in the snow where I'm not that good this year. But Nemanja Matic draws a good save out of Aurelio Gomez, then the defender is there to clear it away. Gomez has obviously had his troubles in the Premier League when he was with Tottenham, but for Watford this year in real life, he's actually been very, very solid, and he's doing the same for here. He's doing the same for Watford here, and Alessandro Diamanti with a really strong left-footed shot actually gives Watford the lead just past the hour mark here. Away from home at Stamford Bridge, Watford looking like they might get themselves 3 points, unless of course we can find ourselves an equaliser. Willian played down the right hand side by Ramirez, really nice turn inside. Can he find a teammate with a cross? Finds Pogba, who the cross wasn't intended for. It was the CPU that made Pogba have that shot, and unfortunately he couldn't find the target. It went into the side netting, and we do end up losing at home to Watford. An unexpected result, especially considering the form we were in earlier on in the episode, and had we been able to even draw that game, we would have found ourselves top of the Barclays Premier League. Never mind though, we'll take that defeat on the chin and hope to improve. We are currently second, only a point away from Manchester City. The other side in Manchester, Man United, have a game in hand on us, and should they win that by more than 1 goal, they will go above us in the league table. And actually, we have Manchester United next. We played Watford on Boxing. No, we played Watford. Yeah, we played Watford on Boxing Day on the 26th, and we've got Man United on the 28th. So there's a 2-day gap between the two games. We'll play Man United next in the first game of tomorrow's episode. But for now, that's going to bring today's to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, of course, and subscribe if you haven't already. Check the channel page for anything you may have missed over the past 3 days. Apologies if the commentary was a little bit off. I'm feeling like absolute death right now. But hopefully the My Player that I have to go and record later on this afternoon won't be affected by that either, but who knows. But I'll try my best to try and keep the level of quality up. But thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.